Now when you leave, when you go down the block and you see your boy, you can go, oh, what up, Red? Yo, Pee-wee ain't get out yet? Nah, I'm about to post a post on him. Hashtag free Pee-wee. You know there's a cop watching that. And now that you know Pee-wee, because Pee-wee's the head Crip dude, you in a gang database.
Street gangs take on different forms. They are similar in that they tend to be motivated by greed and a twisted sense of honor.
No one needs to live in fear in New York City. No one should have to worry about their child or their elderly mother or father walking down the block at night.
After the tragic murder of 15-year-old Bronx teen Junior Gusman Feliz, New York local press helped the NYPD label large swaths of the city as gangland,
New York City.
Being labeled a gangster doesn't just dehumanize our understanding of the people who live here. It also helps the NYPD circumvent the ban on Stop and Frisk once more. Hence the nickname Stop and Frisk 2.0.
I live in Roseville, and I'm constantly seeing now on the rag that you got 3 and 4 DTs jumping out their cars, just walking up on young boys and searching them.
Today, we join Victor Dempsey and Anthony Posada from LAS's Community Justice Unit at Man Up for a training session on their FOIL initiative.
When we say gang, we think something's going on, right?
I don't have a fight because once it goes to the federal court, my God, he doesn't even have the bail the minute they say gang related. They don't want to hear nothing.
But not just that, we're talking about crews. This is all started Operation Crew Cut.
Today, much of what the violent crime we face not only comes from traditional criminal groups, but also from smaller groups often linked by their neighborhood. We refer to these as crews.
Just crews, just motorcycle clubs, just a group, anybody, exactly.
But if you're just standing around on the corner and the cops, say for instance, grab him and you're standing there, they would actually take your name and throw it in that database? Get out.
So we talk about our youth, how do we empower them? We explain to them, this is what they're doing to you. We explain to them social media, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. Now when you leave and you go down the block and you see your boy, you can go, oh, what up, Red? Yo, Pee-wee ain't get out yet? Nah, I'm about to post a post on him. Hashtag free Pee-wee. You know there's a cop watching that. And now that you know Pee-wee, because Pee-wee's the head Crip dude, you in a gang database. I hear you guys, I get it, you've never been locked up, but like Anthony said, you don't have to do anything criminal to be put on a gang database, which is gonna criminalize you.
He's right. You don't have to commit a crime to be on a gang database. You don't even have to be suspected of committing a crime. How does that happen? Let's take a closer look.
Anyone can openly admit to being in a gang for whatever reason it is. Maybe it was a stop, maybe it was a kind of accident, maybe bragging about it, we don't know. Reliable resource they use is actually school safe. Now we're talking about our high schools, junior high schools, where our kids are. I'm actually going to use a scenario that they use in a hearing. If a police officer gets called to a school for a fight, someone wants to press charges on another young man for assault possibly. While if we're making that arrest, a school safety officer or a teacher basically sets him on the side, hey, this young man's part of such and such a group. They're saying that they take that into consideration with making that arrest. Now, let's say the case is moving on with the young man, goes to prosecution, they talking to the DA about the case. Oh, so who is this young man? Talk to me about it. Like, they want to get bio on or background and see how heavy that penalty may potentially be. But the most thing they know is he's part of a gang, he's part of a crew.
These people don't even know him. They just tell the story and they indict him. If he wants to go to trial, he wants to go to trial. You're talking 50 to 100 years. These young people are getting hundreds of years off of BS.
So there's one little fight that happened in school that probably could have been pulled aside and just talked about. Now he's labeled not only a gang member, but that's holding weight on how they're prosecuting that case.
But so far, the only way to know if you're in the gang database is when prosecutors present it as evidence against you in court. And by then, it's already too late. The only way to find out if you're placed on a gang database outside of court is through a Freedom of Information Act request. Freedom of Information Law, FOIL for short, provides the public with the right to access certain government records. So, in order to help fight what LAS calls a breach in constitutional rights, in 2018, the Legal Aid Society launched a do-it-yourself campaign for community members, which allows them to submit FOIA requests to NYPD. The main focus of the campaign is to inform and empower New Yorkers on the NYPD's use of a gang database.
I want to engage all of you to submit actual FOIA requests, like right now. We'll fill them out, I'll notarize them, take them back to the office, we'll submit them. We will be following up with each and every one of you to let you know what they said, which will more than likely be first the denial, and then we'll follow up with an appeal.
Over 300 FOIA requests have been submitted since the start of this program, and all of them, 100%, have been outright denied by the NYPD. Over 98% of the people named in the database have been Black or Latinx New Yorkers, a racial undertone that isn't missed by the LAS. This is the Prince Joshua Vito Community Center. It's a newly opened state-of-the-art facility offering a gym, music studio, entertainment space, and computer rooms. The Prince Joshua Vito Center is ran by Man Up and Good Shepherd Services. Community members, including brother A.T. Mitchell, formed Man Up following the tragic death of an 8-year-old, Deshaun Hill, in 2003. It was their way of ending the cycle of gun violence in East New York. 2 years later, the organization officially formed as a not-for-profit. They later became part of the New York City Crisis Management System's Cure Violence program, employing a public health model to address the issue of gun violence in communities. The work of violence interrupters like Man Up is to mediate conflicts and to reach residents who have a high risk of committing gun violence, as well as those who have been impacted by it.
The police came in to testify that the reason they do this is because of gun violence. And who is working to change gun violence through a public health approach right now? Who is? You all are. You are. You all are the alternative, the way to go, what should be supported. Is violence occurring, right? Are people hurting other people in our communities? Yes, I know it. But at the same time, do we agree that a full hammer should be dropped over this entire community so that they are destroyed and depleted? No.
Side note, law enforcement and community organizers often refer to violence interrupters as credible messengers. These are men and women returning to their communities to give back after being impacted by systems of oppression like gun violence. Studies have shown that credible messengers and violence interruption groups like Man Up have dramatically reduced the number of violent and gang-related crimes in New York City.
More of this. Yes. More centers. Can these centers be replicated everywhere in New York City, right? They can, but they're not. There's money for it, but why doesn't it come here?
Very interesting because it brings awareness. And as a life coach, I can use this information to deal with the young brothers and sisters that we work with in our neighborhood vocational corps.
It's important for our young people, even from babies in elementary school, to be aware of this very important issue. As our job as an organization is to inform others, that's how the word gets spread out, and that's how we become more cautious about the things that we do in the street, about who we talk to, our surroundings of that sort.
So just having this knowledge, it'll help me just, spread the word to them to let them know what's going on in our neighborhood.
If you want to find out if you're on the database, submit a request. Follow the link below for more information.